Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. So 1,000 of you have so far moved across to my new channel. So I really appreciate that, guys. You guys are my loyal supporters. Still a lot of you left in this channel. If you haven't moved across by now, you should try and move across. I'm going to have the new channel mainly for high IQ videos that we will have some really deep discussions about. For example, today's discussion, we're going to talk about why they teach Animal Farm in English schools. And those of you who don't know Animal Farm, it's basically about communism. So they teach young children in UK, in Hong Kong, or used to be in Hong Kong, but definitely in the province of Taiwan. And many other Western countries, they teach young kids Animal Farm. They brainwash them, tell them communism is evil. It doesn't work. However, if you look at China today, communism has worked, and it's capitalism that has failed. So we will discuss that in the new channel. So obviously we will discuss high IQ um, topics, and we only require high IQ people to be in that channel. So if you are of high IQ, make sure you join that channel and we can have some deep discussions. So in this channel, I'm still going to be running this channel, still going to be running videos. The videos are more going to be for like daily news that's happening around the world. And also, I might have a few controversial topics I talk about. For example, um, the fake state of I, if you know what I mean. And also, maybe a little bit about Indians. I'm going to be having an Indian topic today as well. So, controversial topics like that, things that get you banned, I will carry on talking about in this channel. And frankly, I don't care if I get banned. I mean, come on, look at my history, guys. I've been banned so many times, demonetized. At this point, I don't really care. And this is why I have to open new channels all the time. And because I got to be on top of things, guys. I got to be ahead of them. They will, I'm the only one that survived so far. They've killed off Gonzalo Lira. They've demonetized and shut down Mike Jones. Every other speaker they've scared off. I don't know if you guys remember Daniel Dumbrill. They scared him off YouTube because they were threatening him and his family. So he's not no longer doing YouTube. He does do it now and then, but not like before. Many like really good talkers. They basically find ways to scare you off or make you not speak the truth. Um, that's what they do, guys. But I'm still here. I'm still here, guys. They have tried and they failed, and I'll still carry on until I'm dead. Joke. Anyway, let's talk about today's story. And yeah, don't forget to join my new channel. Only if you're high IQ, guys. Otherwise, you can stay here if you want. Again, I'm joking, guys. British sense of humor. Anyway, let's talk about what's been happening. And Trump has gone completely 180, guys. I think a lot of people, including me, thought that there might be an attack happening this weekend. And he seems to be saying that he's had some sort of deal with Iran. And I don't know if it's true or not, because Trump, guys, and I know Trump. Trump changes his mind almost daily. One day he wants to attack, next day he wants to have peace, next day he wants to attack again and wants to nuke Iran. He's saying he wants to destroy the civilization. Next day he wants peace. This guy changes his mind every single day, sometimes 2, 3 times a day. So you cannot trust his tweets. You don't know what his mind is going to be about one day to the next. And even the Iranians are confused. I mean, for example, I don't follow this guy, by the way. I mean, this Mario guy. Let me just for his name. I have no respect for this guy whatsoever. But sometimes his tweets are, you can kind of read some few things between the lines. So he says that Iran has publicly claimed that US officials told, well, they have publicly claimed that US officials told them that Trump's tweets are mostly for promotional and media consumption and not to worry about Trump's tweets. So basically, what the US negotiators are saying, they say ignore Trump's tweets, basically. Ignore them. But you cannot ignore the president's tweets. This is a president who ordered a war on a strike on Iran. This is the president that tore up the JCPOA. This is the president who's threatening nukes on Iran. So how can you not take his tweets seriously? His tweets changes markets. So I don't know what this guy is on about. You have to take Trump's tweets seriously because it shows what his mind is like at that moment in time. End of the day, he's the one that makes a decision. He's the president. So if he says go to war, they're going to go to war despite having negotiations. These negotiators are saying, "Oh, ignore what he says." I mean, are these guys really retarded or something? Because the last two times these negotiators tried to negotiate with Iran, guess what? Trump ordered a strike on Iran. 2 times, 3 times even in the 6-day war previously, and in the war now, in the middle of negotiations, Trump ordered a strike. So how can these negotiators say, "Oh, we ignore Trump"? Yeah, fine, ignore Trump. You ignore him, then he basically starts ordering a strike and kills your leader, your supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. And you want Iran to ignore Trump's tweets? I mean, come on, get lost, guys, get lost. This is ridiculous. These people have no brains whatsoever. So anyway, you can't really take Trump's tweets seriously, guys. You know he changes his mind one day to the next. You don't know what state of mind he's on. But today's been very interesting. You had lots of Israelis on online after this tweet. They're going crazy. You have these like this woman. She's some sort of Israeli intelligence asset, and she says, "Correct, Israel will not tolerate this." So she's basically saying that Israel will not agree to anything that Trump agrees with Iran. That's what she's trying to say, and I think she speaks for all of Israel because I don't believe anybody in Israel would agree any sort of peace deal with Iran because that's not what they want. They want war in the region. They want Iran to be destroyed. So that's Israeli position. So some other strange thing has happened today. There was a shooting from here. Oops, sorry, excuse me, guys. So look at the reporter's face. There was a shooting in the White House today. Apparently, some suspects got shot or something. But is this something that the Israelis have done? Because obviously they're not happy with Trump talking about doing some sort of peace deal with Iran. So was this a warning to Trump or something? Maybe he's warning him that do not mess with us, do not try anything with us. We own you. We can kill you. Maybe it is. And so why is Trump suddenly wanting a peace deal with Iran? It really doesn't make any sense. Then suddenly Trump posted this today. He posted he posted "Hello Greenland." So could it mean, guys? Could it mean that he's gonna walk away from Iran because Iran is too difficult, and he's gonna start taking Greenland and maybe even Cuba as well? because those are easy jobs apparently for Trump, easy wins. So is that why he wants to walk away from Iran? Because he doesn't want anything difficult. He doesn't want a long drawn out war with Iran and stuck in a quagmire for another 20 years. He wants quick wins because that's what Trump is about. He loves quick wins. He doesn't like slow burns. He loves to have quick wins and move to the next project. So I think this, this picture is so funny, guys. So I think I think he's after Greenland, guys, and he's after Cuba. And the Europeans would have been looking at this thinking, "Oh God." And the Europeans got a real good smacking today because Kiev got hit by Russian hypersonics today because Kiev basically killed a few kids, blew up a few kids in a Luhansk area. So Russians have been really hitting Kiev hard. So if Greenland, if the Europeans want to keep Greenland, they have to go on their knees and beg Russia for forgiveness. End the war, give Russia whatever he wants, get rid of all the sanctions, start building the Nord Stream, and then also cut ties with the United States. Just cut all ties. Apply sanctions, full sanctions on the United States, cut all ties, get rid of NATO, build their own NATO with Russia involved, and have, you know, Russian and European security, looking after European and the European continent's interests. No America, no nothing. It's just Europeans looking after each other. And the Europeans including Russia, because Russia is also part of Europe as well. That's what they need to do. And they also need to cancel all, sanctions on China, cancel all rhetoric on China, start begging China for help for Greenland. And I think that's the only way Europe can save Greenland. Go on their knees and beg China and Russia for help. That's the only way. Otherwise, say bye bye to Greenland. Nobody's coming to save you, Europe. You're on your own. It's over for the Europeans. And I think Trump smells blood. He knows the Europeans are weak. They're not going to do anything. They don't have the balls like the Iranians do. So I think Trump may be taking Greenland, guys, and possibly Cuba as well. Possibly Cuba, because Marco Rubio has been speaking some rhetoric about Cuba. He's been spreading lies and stuff. So same lies they spread about Iran, saying that Cuba's got all these you know dangerous weapons, not nuclear weapons, but chemical, biological weapons and all of that, and they can use it against United States. And all these lies they're basically making up. Getting the American public scared, and you know, they always do that. They always do that. Make the American public scared, make up stories, and then they invade, make up some BS story about how Cuba's going to attack America, blah blah blah. And there's all these Russian secret weapons and Chinese secret weapons in Cuba pointing at America. They're gonna, start making up all these lies and take it over. So let me know what you guys think, guys. Strange days events, but obviously we will look after the rest of the development. So see what happens. So let's talk about India, guys. There's a major shift going on in India. Major shift. US is sending green card applications back to India. Thailand removed 60-day visa free entry for Indians. Singapore companies increasingly avoiding hiring Indians. So it looks like the Indian love story is over. It's over, guys. And I found this is the funniest story, guys. Can't believe it's so funny. So so this is the Indian spokesman, right? and this is Indian speaker, and he's basically telling America um, to let these green card holders stay in America, and H1B visa applicants to make these applicants faster. Because, and the reason he's saying that, he says, look, we hope that these H1B delays and disruptions would be addressed by the US. There are several Indians who have been stranded in India for extended period of time. Can, can you see this line? I want you guys to like really understand what this line means. He says, there are several Indians who have been stranded in India for an extended period of time. Stranded in India. These are Indians, guys. These are Indians living in India. How can they be stranded in India? They live in India. Oh my god. When you understand the language he's using, he's basically, saying that Indians are stranded in India, and they are, they've been living in India all their lives. They're trying to escape India. Apparently, they're stranded in India. It's just hilarious the language they're using. He also says they have caused a lot of hardship to their families. causing because the H1B delays, right? And they're causing a lot of hardship to the families. I mean, come on, bring out the violin, guys. Bring out the violins. And I'll tell you what, they are the most spoiled people on earth. The most spoiled, most, you know, India had its chance, guys. India had its chance for the last 10 years. That was India's chance to really push China to become a superpower. But they ruined it. They ruined it, absolutely ruined it, guys. Because the last 10 years, China had so many sanctions by the United States, by Europe. There was a tech war between the two countries, and India was pretty much left alone. They were left alone to pretty much prosper. And a lot of, obviously, not many, but a lot of companies moved to India, like Apple moved their factories to India. Not all of them, but obviously some factories. And many other, factories went to India as well. So that was the chance for India to really take control and really take advantage of the tech war between United States and China. They could have been like, okay, look, we want to be another option for Western companies. We want to be a different option, and we want to we want to become the next China. So come to us, and we will provide you a safe working environment for your companies to prosper, and we have a win-win situation. They could have done that, guys, but they didn't. Do you know what they did? They scared all the Western companies away, all of them, because they started scamming them. They started all these companies were coming in. They started raiding their offices, stealing their money, accusing them of tax fraud, and all of these, Western companies. They basically lie to get them in, and then they throw in all these charges and costs and basically all these rules and regulations. It really is not a easy country to go and set up a company in. And so many Western companies have gone in there and got burnt. Really big companies. Even Elon Musk's Tesla recently has moved out of India. Initially, like India promised Tesla they're gonna have tax-free access and they'll give them whatever they want to set up factories in India. And Tesla the offer, and then and it's only recently, last few days, Elon Musk said, "No, we're leaving India. We've had enough because all the promises they made were not there. They're all fake." So what India should have done, they should have made India very easy for Western companies to come in and set up shop. They should have made you know really good tax breaks for them. They should have fixed their infrastructure. The infrastructure is still a mess. Absolute mess, guys. There is literally no infrastructure in India. Um, their cities are a mess. They are absolutely on fire at the moment. They are the hottest. They're the hottest country in the world at the moment. Literally, people are baking, and only 10% of Indians only own air conditioning. So Indians are literally baking in ovens. So give it another 5, 10 years when the temperature maybe increases, which looks like it will, because Indian population will increase, the cities will grow larger, and there'll be obviously more factories, more pollution, more cows giving out methane. So it will get hotter, guys. And it really is not a good environment for Western companies to work in. So India has really lost its opportunity. And now you see Trump has been changing his mind about China. Remember 10 years ago when Trump was really pushing his anti-China rhetoric? He was saying things like, China is eating our lunch. What he was saying? He was saying that China is raping our country. Grape. I can't say the real word, but you understand when I say grape. I don't mean the fruit. And that's what he was saying. He was, China is graping our country. And he was really like pushing his anti-China rhetoric, and he's putting all these tech sanctions on China. He was getting other countries to do the same, like UK, Australia, Japan, Canada. He was getting all his vassals to basically put all these sanctions on China as well. So that was a time when India should have said, okay, guys, we are the next, we want to be the next China. We will make things easy for you. Just move to us. Move all your manufacturing to us, and we will basically make things easier. We will give you whatever you want. We will improve the infrastructure for you. We will, everything. They could have done all of that. They didn't. They got a bit greedy, guys. They got absolutely greedy, because that's what they do. They are not all of them. I'm not saying they all like this, guys, but majority of them are scam artists. They use scam artistry to get H1B visas. There's been an investigation recently that a lot of these H1B visa applicants, they have fake degrees, fake job CVs, and basically they apply to America, but they apply to UK, and they get accepted with these fake degrees with no experience. And once you get your foot in the door with these companies, right? Indians are very good when it comes to networking. They go on WhatsApp, they message their friends in India, and they say, "All right, I'm in this job. They asked me to do this. How do I do it? Can you tell me how to do it?" And the Indians in India who they know that they have good networking skills. I'll give them that. So they basically give them a document on how to do things, step A to Z. Right, do this, do this, do this. You can fix the problem, or send it to us. We will work on it, and we will give you a solution tomorrow. So that's what they do. They don't have to do their jobs, but they're very good at networking. They know the right people, and they get other people to basically do it for them. And I know for a fact they did it with my job, guys. In my job, we used to do IT work, and there was a few Indians who, when I spoke to them, they did not have a clue. When you speak to them face to face, they have no clue whatsoever. And then suddenly you give them a task, and I see them on their phones. They're literally typing on their phones, messaging their friends in India. And at the end of the day, they managed to get it done. Obviously, like, not a great job, but enough to get the job done. And I'm thinking, how do these guys do it? Because they don't. When you speak to them, they don't. They have no idea. They have no idea about the issue. They have no idea how to fix a problem. And suddenly, by the end of the day, they fixed it after messaging all their friends. So there's something dodgy going on. So yeah, they're getting all these H1B, visas through like fake degrees and stuff. And this is not me making it up. This is something Everyone knows. I mean, you're welcome to just look it up on like Google or ChatGPT, Twitter. You just type in Indians fake degree, you will see like, it's basically a major problem in India. And for the Indians, it's great news because they get out of India, right? They get out of the sweltering heat. They go to a Western country and live like kings. They get a good salary, and every job that they take in a Western country is a job taken away from a Westerner. I've been made redundant 3 times, guys. Three times I've been replaced by Indians. 3 different jobs. I joined one job. I think, yeah, I'm gonna stay here forever. Next thing you know, you get called in the office and said, "Oh, we have to make you guys redundant. We can't afford to keep you anymore." And they let the whole team go. They save money. And then 1 week later, you find out they've replaced you with lots of Indians with H1B visas. And then you join another company, and a couple of years later, they did the same thing. They said, "Oh, we've got no money. We have to replace you. We have to let you go. You're made redundant. Sorry. We have to save costs." And then you join another company, and they do exactly the same thing. This is why the Western companies are not doing good, because we're replacing all the Western workers with Indians. And this is why if you go to like I live in UK and I work in the you know different kind of tech sectors and different companies. I have moved around. I work for the government, civil service, and we move around from company to company, and we see a lot. And I've noticed over the last 10, 20 years, there's been a huge amount of Indians working in top jobs, top in these top companies. 20 years ago, you hardly see them, but now they're everywhere, literally everywhere. They've just been replacing all the Western workers. So every job that they take in UK or America or Australia is a job they are taking away from a Westerner. A Westerner could have easily taken that job. In the past, when I was earlier in my career, um, they companies, if they didn't have the skills, they would train you, they will teach you, and that's how you develop in a company. If you don't have the skills, but now if you don't have the skills, they will just get rid of you and hire an Indian with the skills. The Indians wouldn't really have the skills; they'll just lie on their CV. When I was first starting out, they taught me how to do a software called Oracle. I learned that from my first company. They took me to some training courses, and I learned on the job. After the training, I learned on the job, and that's how I developed my IT career. Then I went on to work for the civil service and many other top companies in UK. But now youngsters don't get that chance. Now they either replace that job with an Indian or they replace it with AI. Youngsters are not getting that chance that I had when I was working in UK. So it's a bit of a shame, guys. Absolute shame. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to be talking part 2 on the new channel. We're going to have some high IQ discussions, and I'll see you there, hopefully, guys. And don't forget to share, subscribe, do whatever you can to help promote a new channel, and watch the video from start to end as well. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.